Hello and welcome to Forever After That. It's Friday, Thursday. It's only Thursday night, and it is only me tonight. I don't have any other guests besides myself and Steve. I think that sometimes I always try to leave it up to him. I always try to give him like I feel as divine inspiration. I'm like, oh, I know exactly who I want to have on the show this week. And this was one of those weeks where he and I really needed some time alone. And so I took that time today. We went out, took a beautiful drive through the mountains through a place called Cades Cove. And it was, what's a good word for it? Very healing. It was emotional. And there was some beautiful channeling that came through. And I want to share that with you tonight. And I also have my cards. So because I don't have someone to sit here and talk with. Anybody who'd like to come on, I can probably come up with a link and you can join me. But otherwise, I think we're just going to do a Steve and Diane show tonight. We're going to let him do a little bit of the entertaining. So I'm here with you. I've got something that I wrote up while I was sitting beside a stream that I'll share with you in just a little bit. I'm going to see if I can find comments because I'm going to be more interactive tonight. You are all my guests on the show tonight, every last one of you. So whether you like it or not, we're all a part of this tonight. So I would love to interact more with you than I normally do on the show. And I would love to let him really have the floor tonight. So what I want to do is any questions that anyone has is okay. It's okay to, let me share this out so we can get it going. It's okay to ask me any questions that you like pertaining to Steve, pertaining to our continued relationship. There was a question that was asked on Silent Mystics the other day that I'm going to go a little bit further into very soon because it's the whole message of the day from Steve, and I really want to share it. So I'm going to give people a chance to kind of gather. I know I'm kind of popping on. I came running into home base today. It was beautiful out there in the mountains, and I was really, really enjoying it. And then a huge storm blew in and really slowed the traffic down. So it took me a lot longer to get back here than I thought it would. So I'm really hustling to get myself together, and I'm in a really good space. I'm in a much better space than I was in this morning. I really needed that time. There was there's so much healing going on right now with this portal opening. It's open. It's been going on for a few days, probably up to a week. And so I know that a lot of us are really, really struggling with high emotions, with this vacuum effect, with feeling as if we're getting pulled back into the past, into those things that we feel as if we've already healed. And yet they're coming back up again for us to find more healing. So anything that's not fully healed is going to, I see 8 of you, so good. I'll start watching your comments. Anything that we haven't fully healed yet, you'll notice is still coming forth. So today was a day of healing for me in the way of grief. And it's funny because I think that I can be one of those people. Oh my goodness, it's been 4 years, but we're in it right now. For me, it's more than just the portal. He was diagnosed on July 22nd, 2016, and he transitioned, let's use the right word, on September 6, 2016. And so I'm right in the middle of it. And every year this happens, even though I think that I've had a ton of healing, I still have more healing to go. So Cades Cove was some place that he and I really enjoyed. It was a very special place. I have beautiful memories there of the two of us together. And so as I got closer to Cades Cove, I started talking to him. I do that a lot still. I feel like that's what's created. Hi, Wendy. Hi, Geraldine. Hi, let's see, Natalie, Julie, Annie. It's nice to see all my friends gathering. Hi, Charlie. So we're in that space. So as I was getting closer to Cades Cove, as soon as I drove in, I knew I was exactly where I needed to be today. It was so healing. The second it was like something opened up in me, that well, it was like, okay, there you are. There you are again. And if you've never been to Cades Cove in Tennessee in the Smoky Mountains, it never disappoints. It's just as beautiful as it can be. There's all kinds of beautiful trails that you can walk down. You're down below, you're in the valley, and the mountains are all around you. There's wildlife. And there was a bird that I was having fun with. I got some beautiful macro shots. That's my photography. Everyone else loves to take, they're like, oh, mountains, take a picture. Well, everybody's got those pictures. I took a picture of a bee's face and I took a picture of some very close up flowers. And I got a one flower that has a couple of ants climbing around on it. And I was just thrilled because I didn't see the ants until I took the picture because the macro pulled them in so close. So that's my kind of photography. I've always loved doing photography that looks at something that other people don't notice. And for me, bugs are quite magical. I had yesterday I caught a cicada on the tree after it had come out of its shell, and it was this bright green, and it was just they're aliens. They look like aliens. I'm really obsessive when it comes to the creepy crawlies. So I have some beautiful pictures to share with you guys later. I like to see things through a different view. I like to slow down. We're so busy running around. And when Steve got really sick, the first really great bug picture I took was the last day he and I took a walk together. And some of you have seen it. It's a beautiful macro picture of a cricket. I moved in really close. I had a brand new camera. He had just bought it from me. And I was like playing with it that day. And I remember seeing him sitting there. Hi, Belinda. I remember seeing him standing there. I know he had to be in pain. He had a cane, and he was being very patient, watching me try to get the hairs on this cricket's face. Like I was zooming really in close, and I love that cricket photo so much. And that's the kind of thing that I love to do. And I don't know why. It's just who I am. I like to see things from a different point of view, a different perspective. So that seemed to be where he was taking me today. So for the first half hour, I really want you to go there with me because there's a reason why he comes through this way to me. I really feel like today was meant to be. On these days when I say, okay, Steve's the guest tonight, I always go someplace with him, like a little date. So the two of us went to Cades Cove today. And it didn't take me long before I felt his presence. I started to talk to him and I felt him there. I can feel body heat. I can feel him in the seat beside me. He's right there. He's so close. He's not even in his own seat. He's like, I can feel him right here. That's the nice thing about not having a physical form. You can sit wherever you like. He can sit in my lap if he wanted to. He can do whatever he wants. He can ride on the top of the car, whatever he wants to do. So he was very, very present with me today. And when I first drove in, I got hit. And this was why I needed to do this. I got hit by a wave of grief, and it didn't last very long. But it was like, my gosh, where did that come from? I thought that I was doing so well. So that was where I really needed to spend time. This is my kind of healing, is being alone, allowing for my guides, my angels, my team to swoop in. But mostly I just need that time with Steve. I don't give, like, it's not like I live my whole life circling around, trying to spend time with this person who has passed, but he and I are so connected. And sometimes I have to have things get quiet down. If things get too noisy, if I'm always listening to somebody else's voice, then I'm not hearing him anymore. And I start to feel a disconnect. So today was that day where I said, okay, I can't listen to anyone else for a little while. I just need to hear him. And so we went into this beautiful farm. We stopped at a couple of places, but there's this one farm that he and I used to go to all the time. And there was a lot of people. I'm not going to go into details. This one little child that I felt was being really mistreated, and I just wanted to scoop her up and bring her home with me. I can still see her face. I can't stand it when children are treated poorly. When they're hurt like that, I can't stand it. So I'm going to let that go. I feel like I'm getting more sensitive all the time. So I went over and I saw a spot where I could get down by the water, and I put some music on. I put some sound in my ears so I wouldn't hear all the chaos that was going, because there was a lot of people there today. And I found this beautiful, quiet little place. And while I was sitting there, and I'm going to start reading your beautiful story or your comments and things here in just a minute. Annie, you've been wanting to go for a while. Hi, Charlie. I think I've said hi, Belinda, Charlie, Cheryl-Ann, Wendy, all of you people, Julie, all of you people, Erica. I love it when you guys show up. Hi, Maria. So if I missed anybody, think I got you earlier, and if I didn't, I'll get back to your comments. So as we're doing this, I did channel a message through writing. I haven't done that in a while. Typically, he just starts talking through me these days, and I just let him. It was like he bubbles up, and I can't hold it back. Anybody that spent time with me, they're trying to talk. I'm like, no, shh, it's coming through right now, and I can't stop it. When he's ready to talk, he's just ready to talk. So we sat there quietly today. And this message continued throughout the time. So I'm going to keep on working my way through it. I really do want to read the way that it came through in writing, though. So I'm going to drop your comments for just a second. And I want to see if I can read this to you. I'll probably have to put these goofy glasses on and see if you can feel him speaking through these words, okay? They're kind of dirty. Okay. When we are home, there is never a moment when we feel single or alone. There we are, all one, moving about freely and yet connected to all of creation, continuously plugged in. We live in the joy of total bliss, never longing for a single thing. Can you imagine? We quickly become aware of the fact that we are all in complete control of our own creations. We choose to live on a mountaintop or on a if we lose to sorry, if we choose to live on a mountaintop or in the middle of an azure sea, with every thought, our creation forms out of a mist before us. So every time you think about something, my wording is weird because I was sitting beside the stream. But the way he was telling me is whatever thoughts you have, wherever you want to be in the world, if you think it, you're there. So that's what he was trying to say. There is no need for longing, competition, or grief. There is no sense of loss. We may choose to exist alone, and yet always we feel that perfect connection to all that is. So even when you are alone, you're still connected. You can be in the middle of nowhere all by yourself, and you still know your connectedness. There's no loneliness. There's no singular. There's no I'm all by myself. Does that make sense? So today, as that lump of sadness filled your throat, I was in those tears as they fell down your face. I was there by the stream as blue dragonflies flew by, and that tiny blue butterfly that danced before your golden eyes, that was me. I watch over you as you dream, and I wrap my love around you when you cry. If, if I could have only one wish, it would be that you could truly hear and see me and know that our connection never dies. I am here today, tomorrow, and forever after that, because through the cord that binds us, though the cord that binds us may seem weak, it is the strongest cord there is. There will never be a time when the cord between our souls and the love of all creation will ever dissolve. I am here and I will never leave you alone. Someday soon, your world will finally evolve and you will suddenly see the golden cord that connects us. He's in that it's funny because in that it's me. I feel as if he's talking to me and reminding me that he's always a part of me. But as I was writing it, I knew that it was much bigger than just me, that all of creation, that the creator energy is trying to remind all of us through me right now that there is a cord. There has always been a cord, that we are all connected, that there is no singular one person. When you go out all by yourself, you're never really all by yourself. They're trying to remind us that here's the story, okay? This beautiful thing came to me, and I want to tell you from the way that it was given to me. When a baby is born, there is this, they're screaming and you think that, oh, they've gone through a painful, traumatic event. They've gone through something even greater than we can imagine. When we choose to come into physical form, there is a separation. We can compare it to childbirth. That little child is carried around in the womb. It's very connected to its mother. It never gets lonely, never feels lost, never feels sad. It lays in that womb completely protected. And then the birthing process comes around, and all of a sudden that baby realizes there's something, goes, oh, wait, I don't have any connections. I'm all by myself here. It doesn't matter that there's 10 people around me trying to give me a bath and trying to feed me. I don't have a connection anymore. I've lost my connection. That's what we all do. We lose our connection. We forget our connection. We suddenly, that cord gets cut in the whole birthing process. The cord gets cut and we feel as if we're cut off from everyone else. We're all by ourselves. For the first time, we come to this earth. On the other side, we're completely connected at all times. No matter what we do, we're always connected. And we never feel sad and we never feel lonely. We come here, we become these little babies. We're perfectly connected in the womb, and suddenly we're gone. It's done. And we are disconnected. And it's like we were unplugged from everything that we know. And then we go through life and we're waiting for someone to love us because that's all we really are. We are love. We come from love. Everything on the other side comes from love. And we come here and suddenly it's not that loving. It's not. There are times that even as a very small child, it doesn't feel very loving and it always feels disconnected. How many of us have felt disconnected from the time that we were very young? We felt very, very disconnected. And so that's what he was showing me today. What he's trying to show me is that's not true. Let's go further into it. That's not true. That's not the truth of who we are. We have taken that on, that belief system that when that umbilical cord is cut, we're all by ourselves, we're alone. We decided to come here and experience this planet for everything that it had to offer, meaning that even when it's difficult and even when it's painful and even when we feel really, really alone, we accepted that. We took that. We decided that was the experience we wanted to have. Source, God, whoever you believe in, the creator, now is trying to say, we don't need to be like that anymore. We don't have to feel that disconnect anymore. That cord, even though we've forgotten that it exists, still exists. And we're finding it through our soul families. We're suddenly realizing that those people that brought us into the world may not be our soul family at all. We may not feel all that connected to them, but there are others out there that we feel so connected to. We have this beautiful cord between us always. And our soul families, they're always close. They're always around. And our angels and our guides. And as we become more connected and as we realize how connected we are, we start to realize that we're really as one big human race. We're all just one big one big thing with lots of moving pieces, lots of moving parts. So we don't need to feel so disconnected and so sad and so lonely. In my world, all the way home, I was imagining the world that I would love to see, I would love to live in. The world where there are no children that feel hungry or alone or sad or hurt, where all of us know that we're connected, where all we have to do is think about where we want to be. I want to be in Ireland. I want to go to Ireland. Okay, I'm in Ireland. I'd like to spend a week there. I'm never cold. I'm never uncomfortable. I'm never sad on this planet. So I can live in a house or I can live out on a mountaintop, wherever I want to live. It's up to me. Can you imagine what it's going to be like when it's as above, truly as above, or as above, so below? That's what I'm trying to say, is when it really is the way that he shows me. He tells me what it's like to be on the other side, and I try to imagine from my physical self, and I can't come anywhere near close. I can't come anywhere near close to what he's trying to show me. So that's where I'm coming from today, and I'm so thankful that I had today to just run away for a while and be in peace with him and to feel his presence and to know that our loved ones are so close. They're so close. We're so afraid of death. We're so afraid of loss. And they're trying to show us that they're right here. We're right here. More and more people that I know are experiencing this. Please just make space for us. We're right here. So he made himself very, very known to me today. Yeah, it is powerful for us all. It's a powerful message, Geraldine. I really feel like what he gave to us is very powerful. It is for all of us. It's not just him. We are so supported in our sleep when we're crying, when we're feeling lonely, when we're feeling sad. That those little children that are feeling sad, they're really so supported. The veil is so thin. So many of them are seeing their angels and their guides around them, and they're experiencing things that we never got to experience because they're in newer models. And those people that are passing away, they're not going that far away, guys. There's a lot of loss right now, but they're still so close, and they're trying so hard to make themselves known to us. So what do we do about that? We start passing the word. We start saying, hey, guys, there's people out there experiencing. I know you've had a loss when you're ready, and it's not always easy right away. We're not always ready to accept that they're in a different form rather than physical. But when we are ready, they're right there waiting for us. And that's the truth. We have to step out of the grief. We have to stop trying to make them what they used to be in order to allow them allow ourselves to see everything that they are. So there's so much more than we thought. There's so much more. They're showing us the truth of who we are too. So it's important for us to start paying attention to that. So that was what he brought to me today. I hope that you guys can gain from that. You're exactly right, Wendy. We often feel very, very alone. Even your little doggy doesn't ever leave you alone. You know, I can tell Sin is around you so often, and you know that too. Even our pets, they don't leave us alone. We're never really alone. And when you're crying, he used to tell me that all the time. I used to get messages because I used to cry out for him in the middle of the night and I didn't even know I was doing it. And I remember someone came to me and told me that he was with me every time, every time. It's very comforting to think that they're really that close, that they hear us, they know that we're calling out for them. They do whatever they can to bring us comfort. Today was a day filled with yellow butterflies, dragonflies. Oh, I have a crow that was pretty much just putting on a show for me. I had this absolutely magnificent, beautiful day, and for all of you that know Steve really well, right before I turned on the camera, there was a rainbow right over my house. Truly, Caleb witnessed it. I have witnesses. We had this big rainstorm, sun came out, rainbow right over the house. He's like, here I am. I'm right here. He's showing himself to all of you through that. If I'd had time, I would have taken a picture for you. Yes, finding the soul family, Geraldine, is so important. It's so important because we've been alone our whole lives. And if we try to just stick with our physical families, we're not getting fed what we need. We're not finding that. It's not helping us to remember the truth of who we are. They tend to knock us down a few notches, don't they? So we're trying to grow and expand and do this important work that we came here to do. And they're like, stop it, you're acting crazy, like that's not true, you can't do that kind of stuff. And I'm like, oh yes I can, you watch me. So for a long time I let people really tell me what I couldn't do, and I'm done with that. So I'm so grateful that we're coming together with Soul Family now, so that we can have that support system, so that we know that we can come out. Come on out, come on out, don't hide your abilities anymore. When we listen more, we hear more. Exactly, Wendy. We just have to be aware. We start talking. That's how I bring them out. Same thing I did today. Hey, Steve, why don't you come take a walk with me? Come sit with me in the car for a while. Let's sit and talk. And I always know it's him because when we do it that way, there's this emotion that pops up. I almost always, when I feel him, when I'm out like that, about to happen now. It's like I feel him and then I want to cry. I feel like the both of us are going through a little bit of mourning again this month. Just like there's just this strange sadness because of where we were 4 years ago and because it was such a difficult time. And I don't think, and I want to make this clear to everyone, it doesn't matter how enlightened, how spiritual you are, how much I experience this beautiful soul around me, I am never fully. I don't believe that we can ever fully, when we love someone that much, I don't believe we ever fully get over it. I do believe that we will continue every so often to have these pockets of grief that pop up. So I don't want anybody to think that I'm doing any kind of spiritual bypassing. We have to feel it. I went out today to feel it, and I spent some time and I let the tears roll because I needed to really feel. I needed to let it out. I won't let my grief show that much when I'm around my family. So I went off by myself as usual. I didn't go to the bathroom floor. I went out to the woods and I spent some time with him. And we grieved a little bit together. We enjoyed being in physical form together. We very much enjoyed each other physically. And so there is always going to be these little pockets of grief, these times when we both seem to have some sadness. And anyone that says, well, once you get on the other side, there's a part of us. Even though once we're on the other side, all we feel is love, there's still that part of us, that lingering part of us that was in physical form, that still comes in close, and I still sense that sense of loss from him. And that's that part of him. I do believe that there is a part of us that sticks around because we might have lived 1,000 lifetimes. I'm not interested in spending time with him, back in some other lifetime. I love him no matter what, but I when he comes in close to me, he knows that I want him to be my Steve. When I go out into the woods like that, he's my Steve again. He comes to me as the man that I was married to in this lifetime. And in that lifetime, we both had a serious, serious loss. It was hard for him to step out of physical form and to leave me that way. And there will always, as long as I'm in physical form, there's still a separation between us. So I think I needed to clarify that it's okay to still, you still don't, don't bypass those feelings. You're still in physical form. Allow yourself. You came here for all of this. Even though it's difficult, I came here to experience all of it. There's no judgment in my experiences. I chose to come here and to experience some loss and pain and difficult times because it's what made me what I am today. And when I sit and talk to one of you and you're going through loss, I can cry with you. I know what it feels like to lose someone. That's why we go through these things. So we're not just sitting on a pedestal someplace. I'm up on a cloud. Come see me. I'm going to help you to heal. I wouldn't be any earthly good if I didn't go through these things. So, and none of us would. So we go through it and we love the contrast. I know I do. I love a good contrast. As deep down as that pain was, that's how high up I can go. So I'm okay going way down because I know I'm going to go way up to the top again. I'm going to climb that mountain again. So it's okay. Let's see what you guys got. Maria felt more connected to some of my soul family relatives than the blood ones. Exactly. Yeah, it's the truth is that we're all connected, right? And so we all keep coming back in as soul families to help each other get through the hard times. Well, my goodness, why wouldn't we feel connected? We planned it this way. We plan to meet each other. We plan to help each other. We plan to teach each other and to learn from each other and to support each other and to be a good hugger and to just help one another get through these difficult times. That's why we're here. So we're coming together in droves right now. It's such an important time to not ignore those connections because that's why we came here. These soul contracts are coming up. They're coming due. Like, hey, remember that contract? You were going to come in and help me out while I was here? Yeah, it's time. we're collecting on it, aren't we? Geraldine, yes. She's saying Belinda says it's a blessing. Belinda, one of your soul sisters for sure. They really are right here, aren't they, Carol Ann? I'm so glad that you found Bill. I'm so glad that you and I got together so that we could spend more time and learn more about because when we spend time with other people that have gone through loss, that still feel them around, it makes us feel less crazy. We're like, oh, yeah, that really is him. He was telling me that on the way home. Let's see. This is another conversation. I'm going to continue because I feel like he keeps popping these things up. Yes, Wendy, you were feeling down. My journey driving home from work, I turned on the radio. My late mom's singing was playing. Wow, was playing. Then it was my late uncle's favorite song. Wow, that's crazy. Everybody's reaching out to you right now, Wendy. I will always love you, never doubt. Spirit of our loved ones will always find a way to connect with us. That was exactly what was happening to me on the way home too, Wendy. I kept hearing songs, one after another, songs that I normally wouldn't listen to that would come on. And then when I listened more closely, I'm like, songs like I used to listen to them a lot. Vince Gill, I Still Believe in You. Listen to the words of that one. There was so many that they kept coming on and I'm listening and I'm like, oh, there's the words again. He has this way of bringing in just the right song at the right moment that has words that really, really say exactly what I needed him to say. He does that all the time. Our loved ones love to communicate through music. So if you're not listening to music, turn it on sometime. You'll see what I mean. You'll hear the song and you're like, it's more than just, oh, well, it's like, oh, you feel it in your heart. Thank you for that message. So important to find the ways that they're speaking to you. Yeah, Carol, we don't really fully get over it, do we? I don't think we're meant to. We have great love. When you have great love, that sense of loss just stays somewhere. If for a while I thought, well, I got to completely get over this. I can't go into 5D or I can't. People say, well, you can't carry lower vibrational baggage with you, but it'll go away the second I see him. The second I get to hold on to him again, it'll go away. It's just a sense of longing. It's a sense of I lost a piece of myself. He and I were truly soulmates. And so when he stepped back out of physical form, there was a great loss. It was like a tearing apart of two, like our souls were just kind of ripped apart. We've worked hard. I feel him so close all the time. I feel like we kind of brought it back together many times. But and I can be in new relationships. That's where I was going to go. You guys, listen to this really quick, okay? Someone asked me. Really wanted to go into this tonight. Someone asked me last week, how does this new man that's in your life deal with your ongoing relationship with Steve? And I told you last week that Jim is a very special soul, and that I really, really feel that Steve brought him to me. But here's how Steve gave it to me almost 4 years ago, shortly after he died. I had gone to this psychic, and she said he is going to, and she was very spot on with pretty much everything. I don't know how I know that she was for real. I do know how she did it. She's for real. She's the real deal. Um, she told me that he said, don't stay married to a dead man. Move on. Have another relationship. I was 49 years old when Steve passed. I was still very young for being a widow. And so he didn't want me to stay all by myself. I'm a total Venus. I really am. I need to be. I need to be in a relationship. It's the way that I'm wired. So for me to spend the rest of my life completely by myself would have been very difficult for me. I could have done it. I've got Steve around me. I could have done it. I sometimes I think that's the fairest thing to do because he's still so close to me. But he knew better. And she told me that he said, don't stay married to a dead man. And then she said, he is bringing you someone. It'll be 2 to 3 years, but you will find someone. And sure enough, there came Jim. Shortly after I had that conversation, though, I was out walking, and I remember just hurting and longing for him. And I said, how will I ever love another person the way that I love you? And he came back with one simple statement. It does not matter who you fall in love with. It will always be me. Let it sink in for a second. It doesn't matter who you fall in love with. It will always be me. It took me almost 4 years to understand what he was talking about fully. And today it kind of came full circle. We are all connected. We all come to one source, believe it or not. We all come down to one source. And that same blood runs through every single one of us. I don't like to use the word blood because that sounds physical, but that same energy runs through. Energy is a much better word. The same energy runs through all of us. And when you fall in love, so many people are afraid. And I'm doing this, I'm saying this because it's important to somebody here tonight. So many times we're afraid to fall in love again for fear that we're going to hurt the one that has already passed. Like it's some kind of an insult to them. Like they're waiting on the other side for us, and we suddenly decide we're going to marry somebody else, and then they're like, oh my gosh, well, they just don't want me anymore, and they walk away sad. That's not true. Please understand it the way that he's given it to me. I am completely free to live this physical existence any way that I choose. When we're on the other side, we are nothing but love. We all love each other. There is no husband, wife, this little clique over here. You don't go into the lunchroom and everybody's got all these different cliques. Truly, everyone loves everyone. There is no physical. You just are everybody's in love. We're all in love with each other on the other side. So there's no need to worry that you've had many lifetimes. If you get too much into that worrying that you're going to hurt someone on the other side by having a relationship, you need to stop and think about how many relationships you've had in past lifetimes. We have circled around each other so many times, all of us. We've all had different relationships with each other. Some of us have been sisters, some have been mothers, some of us have been leaders of others, teachers. We've been mothers. We've been Steve was my father in one lifetime. He was my mother in another lifetime. He was my husband in different lifetimes, at least 3 times. We were a couple, at least, probably many more. That's all that's been shown to me. We are all actors on a stage, and when we come here, we choose the part that we want to play. And I am playing this part right now. And I get to fall in love with whoever I want to fall in love with. And whoever I fall in love with, still Steve. And I know that sounds confusing because we're all, he's back on the other side, he's a part of source energy again. He is a part of the collective whole. And so whoever's here in physical form is still a part of that collective too. We may not remember it, but we are. And so Jim is just as much a part of Steve as I am, as you are, anyone. So whoever you fall in love with the second time, it's still a part of the collective. That's what he was trying to tell me. And I know it's difficult. It's one of these big thoughts that goes through that can be very difficult to understand. But the message is that you are in physical form. Steve allows me to live the life that I choose to live. When I'm in any kind of relationship, he steps back. When I need him, he steps in. He's always here to encourage, to help. He's definitely become my spirit guide, not just my husband who's passed. He is my spirit guide, and he leads me and directs me and brings me comfort and brings me words and brings me wisdom. And he's my greatest support. And often he feels more like my big brother now than he does my husband. We don't have that same kind of relationship anymore. He's just a big bundle of love, a big teddy bear of wisdom and love, and he just brings me comfort. He'll give me a big hug. It's not the same. He's no longer in physical form. He's made it clear he is not coming back into physical form in this lifetime for me. He wants me to move forward in my life and have any experience that I choose to have. And if that includes my being in a relationship, then he's happy. He'll be right there. And so he was very careful in handpicking just the right person who would take care of me, who would watch over me, who would be kind to my children, who would be a good stepfather, a good husband, a good partner. So how can I deny him that? He wants me to have this. He's the most beautiful gift that he could give me. There's no way that I could tell him no just because of some crazy belief system that says, oh, I'm going to hurt their feeling, or there's going to be some weirdness on the other side. There's no weirdness on the other side. We don't think like this on the other side. We just love each other. There's no male, female separation, nothing like we've got here. There's so many things that we've got here that we step out of the second we step out of physical form. So Steve stepped out all that stuff. That's all. There. Makes complete sense. Good, Belinda. Yeah, Maria says, funny, I am convinced that my ex helped me find Alex. Perfect. Perfect. I'm sure that they do. I'm sure that they sit up there and they play matchmaker. I love it when people start saying that, because he'll sing to me, and he just did again. He's singing matchmaker, matchmaker. If you've ever seen that movie, I think it's from Fiddler on the Roof. As soon as we talk about that, he starts singing that song every time. He's really funny. I love the song with the words, I'm gonna love you like I'm gonna lose you. I like that song too, Lindy. I think that's important, isn't it? That we love each other so much because we know that this physical life is only temporary. I'm never really gonna lose Steve. Not at all. Nor will you ever really lose anyone. But you will lose that physical being that they chose to become with you. So there is always going to be a sense of loss, and we should always, every day, love like we'll never see each other again, shouldn't we? I think that's what we learn through loss. We love even better. I used to say that. I was afraid. I remember Caroline said, Mom, how are you ever going to love someone like that again? And at the time I said, I don't know. I may not. I may never allow myself to go there again. But I finally, after a couple months, I came to this place where I realized that if Steve were to come back into physical form, and I knew that I was only going to have him for 6.5 years again, or even 2 weeks or a day, I would love him even better this time than I did the last time. I would, on the way home today, I went into my rhetoric, and it makes him mad when I do it. But I was like, man, I wish that I'd given you more of my time. I wish that I hadn't been so distracted. I wish that I'd given you more of a chance to talk to me. I wish that I had been a better listener for you. I wish that I could have been a better wife. I wish that I could have, I started doing all that stuff. And he's like, stop it. You were everything to me. You were everything to me. Everything. You were my miracle. Like when he just gets so angry. He doesn't really get angry. He doesn't know how anymore, but he does. He starts to correct me. I feel him saying, stop, please. Please, you were everything. You did everything right. They don't hold anything against us. They understand that we are so busy and that we have so many, my gosh, between us, we have 9 kids. I was very distracted and tired. And so I didn't give him everything that I wish now that I could give him. So now, in my current relationships, in my friendships, I hope that I do better. And sometimes I still fail. If I forget to talk to you guys, when you reach out to me and I'm off and I'm busy and I forget to reach back, or I don't fully give myself to my relationships, I need somebody to call me out on it, because I'm only here for a limited number of days and you're only here for a limited number of days. And I want you to know how much I love you. Just like I wish that I had said that more often to him. And Jim, that somehow we find more time. Somehow we just realize the importance of fully giving ourselves to each other and just every day, like as if it's our last day. I wish I could have one more day. What do you guys, when you lose someone, you always wish I could have one more day. Just one more day to talk to them, one more day to walk the earth with them so that we could just sit beside the lake, sip a glass of wine, whatever. I don't even drink wine, but I would for him. And just talk like we never got a chance to. So you still have people in your life right now that are important to you. And every time you look at them, remember that their days are numbered and so are yours. And you're going to run out of those breaths of air one of these days. Do they know how much you love them? Have you shown them yet? And if you haven't, get busy. Get busy because it's important. It's all we're really here for. The rest of it is just stuff. Yes, the lawn needs to be mowed. Big deal. The grass grows a little high. Big deal. Big deal. The car needs to be washed. The dishes need to be washed. There's laundry. There's dusting. There's kids. There's this. There's that. We'll find a million reasons to keep ourselves busy and not spend time with those that we love. And there will come a day when we'll be sorry that we didn't give them more of our attention. So, sorry, I'm getting heavy, aren't I? Angel, Angie's here. Hi, Angie. Hi. Yeah, let's see. I said hi to Carol. Love while two are one, or you will regret, or you will regret when you are on the other side. Yeah, Charlie. I don't think that Steve doesn't have any regrets, but I do think that if we did it all over again, we'd do it very differently. That's what I think. I think that we would find ways to spend more time. That's how you guys all know my story. Some of you, most of you. That's how he became Batman. We had so many kids between us. I remember right away I said, here, say it with me. If the two of us are ever going to have any time alone together, we're going to have to find a bat cave. So he became my Batman. That was it. And I was his Catwoman. Believe it or not, that's where his Catwoman, my email address comes from, because he was my Batman and he soon started calling me his Catwoman. And for whatever reason, I tend to be a heat seeker, love to snuggle all the time, cuddle. I'm a cuddler, just like a cat. Very much. I have a very cat-like personality, so it worked for me. It was cute. We were cute. I'm not. Yeah, I won't say sorry. Yeah, I saw. That's what I thought. Geraldine called you Angel, and then I saw Angie. Hi, Kim. Nice to see you. Hallelujah. Love that girl. So cute. You guys are so funny. I love the way you get back and forth. Does anybody, what time is it? I got no idea. I got a little bit of time. We really, Steve and I have kept you busy. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop saying I'm sorry too, because I say that way too much. If I could do one big card reading for everyone if you'd like, and we'll see what the cards say. We are actually, I was worried I wouldn't be able to fill an hour, and I don't know why I worry about that. I have the problem telling the ones I love that I love them. Maria. Yeah, she has an angel tarot. Maria. There will come a day when you will run out of the opportunity to tell them that you love them. They will still know. On the other side, they're going to know. But you will wish that you'd have left them. If you go first, you're going to wish that they heard that. If I could go back and do anything differently, maybe we won't do a card reading. Sorry. I will do a card reading. I'll do a quick one. It'll be a group reading, okay? But if I could go back and do anything differently, in the last month that he was alive, we only had a few chances to really talk to each other. I didn't realize how short our time was going to be. He went really fast. He went very suddenly. And so there was so much that I wanted to talk to him about. And most of the time he was on drugs and he was completely gone to me. And there was a few times that he was really there. And I remember one time I walked into the bedroom and I looked at him. He was laying in the bed and his eyes were so blue and they were so soft. And he just looked at me with this look in his eyes. And I turned and ran. I knew that he had decided that it was time for him to go. I could see it in his face. I just instinctively, that softness in his eyes, he had given into it. He gave into our plan. I helped create this plan, and he had decided to follow through. And so instead of climbing up beside him in that bed and listening to him as he told me, I just went out into the bathroom and went and did my laundry and all the things that I had to do. I didn't go to him. So I'm only saying that I don't want to make you really sad or cry or whatever. You can cry if you want to, but there's nothing wrong with crying. But what I'm saying is there's those moments when you look at someone and you're like, my gosh, I love that person so much. Like they fill my heart and soul. Please tell them. I'm getting a whistling in my ear right here. He's just whispering it right here. I love you. It's crazy. Just bring it, Steve. Who wants to see me glow? Steve brings the glow in. He is still so in love, and he lets me know now. But really, I wish that I could have heard it and said it. I wish that we could have talked together. I wanted to hear it in his voice. So please, please don't take people for granted. Don't take those moments for granted because we don't know when we're going to run out. And yes, you'll find them again on the other side, I promise, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And when somebody's left behind and they're not completely sure of how much you love them, or you haven't had that important conversation, they're going to be looking for it everywhere. I looked for his words everywhere. I was hoping that he'd leave me, as he sat at his desk when he was sick. I wish that he had written me a letter, left it on the computer, left it in someplace so that when after he passed, I would find it. And I can encourage you guys right now that if you haven't done something like that yet, I'm going to do it. I did it. I've already done it before for my kids, and I need to renew it. I want them to know. I want them to have something in writing so that when I die, they've got something to hold on to that says, my mother really loved me. And I know that they know that already, but leave them something, please. Leave your loved ones something. That's all I'm saying. Because they will go looking for it. And I'm going to read you a card real quick, and I'm going to let Steve pick it, okay? My chair is squeaky tonight. I'm sorry. Need a little grace. All right, Steve, bring it. Yeah, I know you're here because I just felt you in my ear, so bring it. What would you like to give tonight? It's your turn to talk. It's a lot of emotion. Let's go with that one. That one feels good. We need two more. I'm not going to hit you with just one. Let's go two more, Steve. And this is for the group, okay? Not just for me. We're going for the group. We're getting there, guys. We're getting there. Angie. Angel is part of my given name, also Angela. I love the name Angela. It's a very pretty name. Okay, you guys, I'll tell you what, I'll give you a big group reading tonight. If we want to do cards, maybe sometime soon I'll get on the Beyersdorfer Institute and do readings for each one of you, okay? Oh, that's the card right there. I was waiting for him. I was waiting, and I'm like, there's that card. I don't have to look at it. I can just feel it. Thanks, Steve. One more. The energy is crazy. It feels like he's being really serious in these cards tonight. I'm going to see what he's trying to say, okay? And I feel as if they're as much for me as they are for anyone else. And so it's a really important, powerful time for us. And so Spirit keeps trying to bring through to us how important it is for us right now to start working on our um, the work that we're supposed to be doing. Okay, and so what I'm getting is these three cards keep coming through. Your commitment is being tested. And we really are right now. If you can't tell you're being tested right now, you're not paying attention. It's a crazy energy ton. And then we got this one. I can't. Okay. Your dreams need a practical plan. These are way too serious for me tonight. And meditate and contemplate. Little Pisces. Meditate and contemplate. Your dreams need a practical plan. And your commitment is being tested. So for whoever's out there that's needing this message, what they're trying to say is you, of course we have these big dreams and we keep saying, oh, we're manifesting. Of course we're manifesting, but please remember that they do not come up with the plans for you. As you came up with your own plan, you're remembering your plan and you're the one that's got to make it happen. But you spend a lot of time meditating and contemplating. That's what brings you closer. That's where you find it, okay? So make sure that you're meditating. Make sure that you're finding quiet time and solitude. That may mean, just like I did today, of going out into the mountains by yourself. Please find some time to be silent and to listen to your own higher self and to meditate so that your angels and guides can actually find a way to communicate. That's how. It's your key. It's how you plug in. You can't possibly hear these answers unless you're plugging in. So they're asking you today to meditate and contemplate, spend some time listening to your guides, listening to your angels, listening to your higher self so that you can come up with a better plan. And so right now we're in a time of testing. We really are. Right now, I don't know how many of you have noticed, but there is a vacuum effect going on. I keep talking about it. So your commitment is being tested. Do you really want to move into this 5D energy? Are you ready to let go of all of that lower vibrational stuff? Are you ready to move out of all of this pain and suffering and jealousy and hurt and disease and all of these things? Are you truly ready to let that go? Are you still enjoying your physicality? Are you enjoying all this suffering? And when I say enjoy, I know you don't enjoy it, but you're used to it. You're comfortable with it. So you have to, in order to move into this new energy, you have to be willing to step out of your comfort zone. And that may mean stepping over that waterfall, off the plank, whatever it is to you. It means you have to be willing to make that step. You are being tested right now. And as we're being tested, the more we are still holding on to lower vibrational energies, the more we're getting pulled back into 3D. I don't know if you've seen that. It's like I can see it. I can actually see a picture of it in my mind, of this vacuum effect of pulling me backwards. It's pulling me back into what I used to be, and I don't want to be that person anymore. So stuff is popping up to test me to see how I'm going to respond to it. Am I still going to respond the old-fashioned way with fear, or can I just go, well, okay, all right, let me deal with that. And when I do deal with it in the right place, it goes by really easy. It's simple. Or I can go, oh, I'm afraid to do that. I don't want to have to do that. I don't want to, I can talk bad about it for days and not do it. Or I can just face it, knowing that I'm stepping out of that lower vibrational energy and that it's just one of those things. We're still in physical. There's still some, practical things that we have to take care of. So let's go ahead and get them taken care of. And they promise us that when we do, they're going to make it easier than it's ever been before. So it means that we step out of the fear mode. Fear is what makes it difficult. And we step into the mode of manifestation. Like I'm taking control of this. I'm taking the bull by the horns. I'm going at it. Whatever it is, I might have to do some difficult stuff along the way, and it's not going to be as difficult as I think. I can get it done. I'm very supported. Make sense? So your dreams need a practical plan. You got this big dream, and that's the last of it. So you're meditating, you get this big dream, you're like, wow, guess where I'm going to do this, and I'm going to do this, and you start talking to everybody about it, but you don't do anything practical to make it happen. And I'm talking to myself too, is that there is still a part of us physically that has to make a practical plan. Write it down on paper, do something so that you have a good idea. Because when we take that pad of paper and pencil out and we start actually writing down what our dream is, We don't want to figure out every little detail. We don't want to make it get too much into the head, but we do have to lay out exactly what it is. Like, which direction do you want to go here? Make up your mind. Which direction do you want to go? And what is your end result? Try not to get too tied up in how you're going to get it. Like if it's a money issue and it's really stressing you, well, okay, you're going to manifest what you need. They want to know what you want to do. What is it? Create a plan. Create a business plan with the universe. This is what I want to do. I'm going to create this. This is how I see it happening, and make it fun. For God's sake, please make it fun. Enjoy the process of planning this beautiful dream of yours. Just keep on planning it. Make it something. Put all the as information comes to you, keep writing it down. Keep filling in the little breaks and all these little places. Keep filling it with this new information as it comes. Don't try to push the water. Don't try to figure it out before you're ready. But be aware that those things are coming to you to make that dream happen. And when you know which direction you're trying to make that, what you're trying to create, it's a whole lot easier to recognize those pieces as they come in, right? If you're like, well, I just want to do whatever I came here to do. I'm not going to create a plan. I don't really know what I want to do. I just want to do what I came here to do. And then stuff starts rolling in and you're like, it just goes right by you because you have no idea what you're actually doing and you're missing everything. And so what happens when you say, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to draw and paint and write and create something, and I want it to, and when I start talking with my friends about it, I start getting excited and it starts building up inside of me, and all of a sudden I can see where the pieces have been coming together for a really long time. And I'm going to start writing them down. I'm going to start pulling them together now. I've got all the pieces to create this dream of mine, and they've been coming in for a while, and now I can actually build it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's different than actually like what we're used to doing. We still get to manifest. We just need to show them exactly what we want, and then pay attention as they roll out the red carpet. They know what you want. That's how they can give you the parts to put it together. Make sense? Hey, let's see what you got to say. Who's talking? I see some conversations going on behind my back. It's almost time to get off of this. It makes so much sense. Good, Geraldine. Angie, Maria, I'm in New York City today. It's been a real testing day the last 2 weeks with a relative. Yeah, it's been crazy. Cray, Angie. We can live those dreams. The dreams are worthy of those dreams. Exactly. Wendy, start meditating. It'll make you feel better. It's where you get back into your heart again. It's where you start finding yourself again, and it feels so good. I had to do it again today. I meditate with you guys every day in the playground, but I need time to meditate all by myself. That's what they've been trying to tell me is, yes, meditate with other people in these classes and all that's great. I need time to just be in stillness and let them talk directly to me. They call us to the table sometimes. They're like, hey, yes, work with other people, do your work, make sure that you're taking time to receive from us directly. They really will work with you directly. You don't need to always go and find someone else to be with. Sit on the floor and just call them in. I find my most active time is just getting in the shower and calling them. In the water, it's so available. Like I'm more in tune when I'm in the water. I must have been a Pisces in a past life. So I definitely am a water baby. And when I get in that water, it's like I'm so much more in tune, and I start calling them in and I feel them. They're like right there. So make sure that you're taking the time to do that. It's really important. It doesn't have to be an hour or two. You don't have to take up a lot of time. Give them a little bit of your time. Give you a little bit of your time. Angie, for me, I want to know that it isn't funny how we feel. I want to, but it isn't funny how we feel fear doing it. That's for sure. I recognize the fear is programmed. So I'm saying to myself, remember it's safe to be you and to do anything. Trying to hold me still, step by step. Hold you still and comfort yourself too, please. Inside of you is a baby, a child that has gone through a lot of fear. Our egos are just fearful little babies. They have been through so much, through lifetime after lifetime. They're only here to protect. They're only worried about us. They only want to take care of us. But they're very fearful, and they hold us back. So please remember to give that ego some love and attention, okay? Give yourself a big hug every day. Say, I love you, little ego. I love you, little. Thank you for taking such good care of me. You've kept me alive all this time. I'm going to take over a little bit more now. It's okay. But you stay with me. We're going to be friends. Talk nice to your ego. I can undo anything, transform any energy that steps forward that doesn't belong as mine. Exactly, Angie. You can. You can ask. You got help. Don't try to do it all by yourself. If you're feeling like stressed out and scared of that as you say it, Archangel Michael, hello, my best friend. Come on in and help me out. It sure feels good to have some help. So please ask for help. Don't forget that you are the one that's in control. It's your, you are the boss. You're the foreman. They're just standing there going, please ask us for help. Please, we came here to help. You came here with a whole team. You didn't just come here all by yourself. You're the one that created the plan. You're the one that got together with a bunch of your friends on the other side and said, hey, I'm going to go to this really heavy planet. Like it's a downer. I'm telling you what. And so I'm going to really, I know that right now I'm feeling really good about this and I'm saying I can save the world. And when I get there, I'm going to go, what in the world did I just do? And I'm going to be crying like a baby. And sure enough, you were crying like a baby when you hit the planet. So please remember that you brought a whole team with you and that they are always wanting to help you and that there is a rule that they cannot help you. We made this rule. They didn't. They can't help us unless we ask them to. So please, they're always saying, please just ask us to help you. They're like, you're like this toddler learning to walk and they're behind you. They're like following you around, like trying to catch you, but they want to help you. They don't want you to fall. They want to catch you, but they can't do it. Not unless you say, hey, yes, you can help me. And I ask for help all the time. All the time. They're probably like, yep, she's got it figured out. That girl's got it. And every now and then I forget and I fall down. So today was one of those days where I had to renew myself and remember to ask, just like you. Okay. Let's see. I always call Archangel Michael to be with me. Yeah, he's like my best friend. You just felt him. He really has a wow. He really has a very powerful energy. It's funny when you say, "Yeah, come on in," and he's like super fast, super strong. like where Steve's my Batman, Archangel Michael is the Superman. Boom. So please ask for him. Please ask him to come help you. I think I got to get off here, guys. It's been fun tonight. It's been fun forever after that. I'm sorry if I made anybody cry. I'm not going to apologize. You know what? We've got to cry together. We've got to get this stuff up. There is a whole lot going on the planet, and this portal, this Lionsgate portal we got going on, it is a strong one, and we're getting pulled back. It's trying to pull us back. There's an energy that's not wanting us to move forward all the time. It's trying to pull us back in. Remind us that we're just puny little humans. You're not a puny human. You are the Hulk. Just get puny human. That's not. You're really powerful. Remember your own power. Remember how loved you are. Remember how supported you are. You're never alone. Your loved ones are always around you. So thank you, Wendy. Always asking for help, Gerald. Me too. Happy tears, Charlie. Yes, happy tears. No, no apologies. We needed to have Steve join us tonight. Sometimes he and I cry together, and that's okay. It's okay. So thank you guys for joining me tonight. I'm going to let you go on your evening. It's now 8 o'clock, I think. It's close to it, or it might even be after. I will be back tomorrow morning. I think I'm in better shape tomorrow morning at 9:30 to see you guys at the playground. So have a beautiful night. Sweet dreams to all of you, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Take good care. Bye.